Today on the channel, we got easily one of the most controversial G.I. Joe characters of all time with G.I. Joe Classified series, Lifeline.
The spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Everyone, Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for another G.I. Joe Classified series unboxing and review. And today on the channel, we got one of the medics of the Joe team here, a controversial character in one Lifeline. But for all your Lifeline needs and a whole lot more, you know you got to hit up Jay's Toys and Games. Use code Kyle, save yourself 15% on all in-stock items. Got to get a deal out there, and that's exactly what I did. Pick this one up over there at Jay's Toys and Games. So pretty excited to get this Lifeline character. No matter my feelings about him, I'm still excited to get a G.I. Joe character. And you're exactly right, Tom. It's not like we're talking about Duke here. He's not as evil as Duke, as we know. As we found out a lot of things about Duke lately, he might be a sexual predator. Maybe 100% is. We found out he burned down the pit. That's why they had to go to the mobile command center. There's a lot of other stories there. We did recently find out he was on the Epstein list. Of course, no shocker there. That was to be expected. There's been a lot of bad stuff about Duke, and one of those bad things was he did hire one Lifeline here. And a very interesting, trying to replace Doc. That was the other thing. We found out Duke was pretty much a racist. We hate to say that about people, but he was pretty much a racist. Trying to move Doc out, move Lifeline in. Now, Lifeline seems like a good enough guy, and if Lifeline worked at the local health clinic or the doctor's office or the emergency room around me where I live, hey, that's great. I would trust Lifeline in that situation. But where I can't trust a guy like Lifeline is out there on the battlefield, because he's a full-on pacifist here. A full-on pacifist. He's not going to do anything. He's not going to use his weapons. And we do remember once upon a time, very unfortunate time. And I get a little choked up just even talking about this one, Todd McFarlane. But I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to tell this story. I know you don't want me to, but I'm going to tell this story. We're going to do it. He was out on the battlefield one time, and we lost a lot of good men thanks to one Lifeline. And Lifeline, of course, hired by Duke. And Duke's like, you know what? That Flint, he's trying to be the leader and all this stuff. And Flint isn't trying to do anything. He's not even trying to take his spot. He's just leading men, doing what's right for business, doing what's right for the Joe team. And Lifeline's out there, just doing his own thing. And unfortunately, Cobra caught the Joes. They caught him. Lift Ticket was there with the tomahawk. Lift Ticket. He always had Lifeline as a charity case. They were always hanging around together, always doing rescue missions and stuff. But they couldn't get off the ground. Lift Ticket couldn't get that bad boy going, unfortunately. He's in the cockpit trying to go. And they had two other Joes. And a lot of people don't know about these two Joes, but it was Windmill and Skidmark. Two all-timers, of course. Two all-timers. Two of the greatest Joes of all time. Well, maybe not really. But they were out there in the front with Lifeline, and the stuff was going down. I'm going to refrain from using bad language, but it was going down. There was Range Vipers over here, Cobra officers over there. Dr. Mindbender was there with that cape flowing in the wind with no shirt on. It was quite the scene, and they were taking heavy gunfire. And Lift Ticket was like, I'm trying to get this thing going. And Windmill and Skidmark, of course, two guys that know a thing about flying around, were like, hey, we're going to grab some weapons and we're going to try to defend ourselves. We got to get out of here. And they said to Lifeline, we're all going to die here. We need you to take this weapon. And he said, I'm a pacifist. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. Next thing you know, bullet in Windmill's head, bullet in Skidmark's head, and Skidmark was dead all over the place, Windmill dead all over the place, and Lifeline's like, oh man, that's just too bad. And of course, as it always happens, like these drunk driving accidents, the guy that's drunk that's driving, he always lives, and it's the passenger that dies. And that's kind of what happened here with Lifeline. He killed that whole Joe team right there, that whole squad right there. Unfortunately, they all died. Lift Ticket finally got that thing going, and Lifeline jumped in, and they flew away to safety. And Lift Ticket was at least trying to get him out of there the whole time. So I have no fault for Lift Ticket, but I got all the fault on Lifeline. If he would have just took that one, they could have defended a little bit longer. Lives would have been saved. Very unfortunate, and that's why you don't have a pacifist as part of the Joe team. And even as a little kid, being like 5, 6 years old, I'm like, what? Why is he on this team? What good is he? Keep him back at the Joe offices. When somebody's hurt, they can come back. Yeah, you need a doctor around, but frontline medic, this isn't what you want. You want a guy like Doc. Now, I fully understand that Doc apparently was a pacifist as well. It blows my mind to even think about it, But I know when the chips are down, you think Doc's going to pick up that weapon and save his guy? He might want to be a pacifist, but he knows right from wrong, good versus evil, saving the world. He's going to take on Cobra. You know he's going to do that. Doc's going to do that all day long. And Doc's a whole nother story. You know, Doc was also Boney M. Did you guys know that? Boney M? Anybody familiar with Boney M? That's another deep cut there. He loves Rasputin, apparently. Of course, quite the lover, as we know that, Rasputin. But Doc had a later career, or was it earlier? I'd have to go check the math on that. But he was Rasputin once upon a time, singing those songs as one Boney M. Look it up. It's true. I wouldn't fact check it too hard, but it is true for sure. But Lifeline, what are we doing? And that's one of those Duke hires, once again, is what that is. And Duke just making mistakes left and right. Like I said, Lifeline, a good guy, a good Joe. Anyways, I know some people love it, but some people hate it. We know how it goes by now, but let's dive into it. And you know how we're going to do it. We're going to take a look at the packaging. We're going to talk about it. We're going to unbox it. We're going to talk about it. We're going to see where it goes from there. And Lifeline looking like he's a member of the Red Cross is what he looks like right here. And I believe, wasn't there kind of like a lawsuit or something like that? They can't put that like the symbol of the Red Cross on him. Wasn't it on there once upon a time? There's something with that story. I don't know. Look that up too, Top and Farland, while you're at it. Classified series here, of course, 8 and up. What's it say about Lifeline here? Edwin Lifeline Steen. Old Ed Steen. Like a young Ed Gein is what that reminds me of. 4 and up. Did I say 8 and up? 4 and up. You 4-year-olds, welcome. Dance with the Lifeline if you want to. QR code over here. Now, this is what I don't understand. He's the big pacifist all over the cartoon, all this stuff. And what's he got in his hand right there? Is that like a tranquilizer gun? Is he giving somebody a shot? Or is it, what is going on here? I don't know. There's some shenanigans going on, and it probably all leads back to Duke. We know how it is on this channel here. On the back, there he is, trying to escape. Says, I'm out of here, guys. See you later. Not going to help anybody of my brothers save their lives. Nothing like that. Jibber jabber down low. Nothing else fun back here. And I had Lifeline as a kid, of course. See you later, goodbye. Part of that second era of G.I. Joe, the Serpentor years is what I like to talk about. You got Wetsuit, you got Lift Ticket, you of course got Leatherneck, you got Sergeant Slaughter, you got all those guys. And we do know, see you later, Lifeline was a big part of all that once upon a time as well. Ready to go. There he is, a little Lifeline. And man, he's got a lot of glasses, a lot of goggles. Can I get these out without breaking them? You never know. There's nothing better than broken figures. Let me tell you, it's always fun on the channel when we break something. It's happened way too many times, if you ask me. Oh, we got the tape. Todd, you might want to get your lawyers. It seems to be Cambodian tape. 100% Cambodian tape. I can feel it in my fingers. At this point, I know all my tapes. I know the kind of tapes. Definitely Cambodian. Extra sticky. Got that little bit of flesh connected to it. We know what's going on. It's the cannibal tape from Cambodia. 100%. Now, can I get these glasses out? That's going to be the million-dollar question here. And where's Ted DiBiase when we need him? All right, got my razor blade. We're going to have to cut these bad boys out. Cut out these shades here. Let's go. And as we know, Lifeline a little bit shady, a little bit shady. Anybody that's hired by Duke is a little bit shady, as we know as well. See you later. Goodbye. Goodbye. All right, let's get down to Lifeline and all of his accessories. And there's a lot going on in here today. And where do we start? No extra hands with one Lifeline. Now, he does got a little knife, and I'm guessing he uses this to, like, undo a seatbelt or something like that to save somebody's life, I'm sure. I don't think he's jabbing this in somebody's eye socket if he needs to save a brother. I don't think he's doing any of that kind of stuff. We do got glasses. We do got glasses. All right. So we do got the big suitcase, briefcase. I'm not exactly sure what you want to call this thing here. Now, I do have a story time with Kyle, if you wanted one more. And I know some people turned off at that story of when I threw Duke under the bus, but people hate to hear the truth a lot of times, Todd McFarlane. We found that out over the years. But I had this as a kid. I had the original Lifeline, and I cut my finger very badly when I was a little kid on Lifeline's little pack here. And PTSD to this day, it kind of reminds me of that. And I remember bleeding all over it and stuff and running to my grandma taping me all up. And I was back in the action, not like Lifeline would have been, but you know how it is. But we do got this going on here. It does look like it has everything in black in here. You got some scissors in there. Looks like a fire extinguisher. I don't know. And maybe some peroxide. Maybe a couple of Band-Aids. I'm not sure exactly, but it's his emergency rescue kit. He's going to help everybody out with this one is what he's going to do. We do got this little periscope type deal is what it looks like. I don't know what this is about. Is it like a flashlight? Is it connect to something? I might have to explore that a little bit more, but it's just this little flashlight. And I think we've had this in the past where it connects on like a backpack or something. I don't know. But we do have that going on. We do got this little pistol. What is this about? I don't understand what this is about. He's a pacifist. But we do got the little pistol. So maybe this is a squirt gun. Maybe he just wants to be all bad. And then all of a sudden, you know, he's got them all around. He's like, that's it. Psh, 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 right in their eyes. Right in their eyes. Maybe. I don't know what he's up to. Now we do got the helmet here. It feels weird seeing Lifeline without his helmet. Most of the time he had the helmet and the glasses on. So that's the image that's burned into our heads. A little bit different here. He just got the little walkie-talkie on the side so we could talk to the lift tickets of the world. You got the white and red attack here. Now you do get the shades, I guess we'll call them. Now, I think of this being over the top. And it was always weird to me that he had like glasses over the top of his helmet and then he'd be wearing glasses at the same time. Part of the double up glasses club. It's like me wearing sunglasses with another sunglass pair on top of my hat. I don't know, but he does got 2 pairs of sunglasses here. This one is the bigger one, and it is a bit of a struggle to fit around the helmet. We saw this just recently with Hit and Run. Very hard to get those to stay. Obviously, could be lost to the carpet monster if you're not careful on that. So, I don't know if there's a better tip to getting this on here, but there we go. I guess I got them on there, but not how I want them. I don't know. I don't like it. I'd rather have them molded in or stuck in there or glued in or something is what I would rather have, but you can try to put those if you want to. We do get some shorter ones that'll go around his head, so if you want the clear goggles for that, choose your own goggle adventure. And then what I'm going to display him in is his shades, and gotta say, for being such a coward, he's got pretty good shades here. You got the gold frames going on, you got the blue lenses, looking pretty good. That's what I think of with one Lifeline, of course. Now, diving into this, you got the little mask here. If somebody can't breathe, he's going to put this on their face. We know how he goes with that. We do got the backpack. Is there a place to plug in any of this? Does not seem to be the case, but it looks like and it feels like this should plug into something. Not exactly sure what. We do got the IV pack as well, so you do have that. So he can do some triage treatment if he needs to, but just don't ask him to shoot or defend or help anybody save their lives. He'd rather see his guys die than to have to work on them. He's like, you know, I don't really want to work that hard today. This afternoon, I'm just going to let these guys die. And then if they're dead, I don't have to try to do anything. You know, if they get nicked or something, then I got to stitch them up. That's a lot of work. Let them die. Let them go. And we'll worry about it later. Duke won't care either, of course, you know. But we do got these going on. So you got the mask. You do got the IV here. This is kind of cool. One of those accessories you can use with other Joes if you want to. You can bring Doc in, of course, Mr. Boney. You can bring him in if you want to as well. We do got the backpack. Got the readout going on here. White and gray coloring. Fits in the back, G.I. Joe style. Got the antenna on the back. But I thought there was going to be a plug-in or something. This has got to plug into something somewhere. Maybe on the back here. I don't know. Nothing. Very strange. And maybe I'll figure it out in the glamour shots or something, but it feels like you should be able to plug that into something, doesn't it? I don't know. But now we're down to it. We're down to Lifeline. Somebody send me the Lifeline is what we got. And as I said earlier, it feels weird looking at him without his helmet. I would never guess who this is. It almost looks like one of those rescue people from Fisher-Price from the 70s my uncle had that I used to play with. Kind of has that kind of vibe to it as well. But he has got 2 eyes, 2 ears, a nose, and a mouth. Pretty plain Jane in the face, looking like a young Dario Argento. Yes, Dario Argento, that's who he looks like in the face. He does got a high collar, so he must be a big Masters of the Universe fan, so he gets right into the Masters of the Universe at a moment's notice. We got that going on. You got the patches on the outfit here. He's got the big old suit going there. You got all kinds of stuff. You got the patches, like I said. You got the elbow pads. Got to protect those elbows. And, of course, yep, he's got knee pads. Probably got those from Duke. Duke said, you're going to need these, kid. You're going to need these, and winked at him, as I think is what he did. So that no good Duke continues on with his no good ways. Got the trigger hand here, which is the ultimate joke here. You got the trigger hand, and we got the trigger hand on both of them there. He's ready to go. He just got an interesting belt buckle here. He's got kind of some kind of readout there on the belt. You got a holster for his knife. You got a holster for that flashlight, we're going to call it. We got a holster there. Holster for his weapon, which I don't understand what's going on with that right there on his chest. So he's ready to go. And then you got the gray boots there and the red outfit throughout. Arms all the way around for us. You got the butterfly shoulder, bicep cut. Double jointed pinless elbows playing all the hits here. Hands back forth, side to side, up and down. Head back forth, side to side. You do get neck articulation as well. Ab crunch, waist articulation. Big old Lifeline splits, drop down hips. Leg goes up high there. Thigh cut. Double jointed pinless knees. Ankles back forth, side to side, up and down. And the boot cut. Does say rescue right there on his thighs, so he's ready to save the day. Like Chippendale's Rescue Rangers. He's like a young Monterey Jack, but totally different is what he's like. And we do got the ringside collectible stand using code Kyle, save 10%. He does fit on that stand there. So Lifeline, not a bad figure. a figure from once upon a time that I really enjoyed as a kid, but when you start researching some of your heroes, sometimes you find out some bad things. Like we learned about Duke many a times on this channel. I'm sure in this helmet, just like hit and runs, it takes some work to get on there just right. So I don't know. I wish these were a little bit looser. Is what it is. But, you know, they say never meet your heroes sometimes. But you meet a guy like Flint, you know what's up. You know what you're getting, and you're very impressed coming out of a Flint meet and greet is what you're up to. Duke, though, scamming left and right. That's what he's doing. He scammed us here, bringing Lifeline in. Honestly, a poor man's Doc is what he is. And we got Doc right here. So now we just need, what's the other guy? Stretcher? Was that the other guy? They tried to bring it back home with Stretcher, tried to fix the ship a little bit, right the ship is what they tried to do. I think so. Let's get Stretcher in the classified line. And then, of course, we always got to have Flint at a moment's notice. He's going to tell Lifeline what it is. Like, what did you do to those men? Windmill and Skidmark, I knew they were jobbers. They're not the best Joes, but they're still Joes at the end of the day. And I don't know if you guys were like me. Windmill and Skidmark were two of the first Joes that always died in my playing days. When I was a little kid, it would always start off. My G.I. Joe playtime would always start off the same. There'd be a team mission. Like, let's say Roadblock was leading that mission. And you get Windmill, you get Skidmark, you get Sneak Peek, you'd get Psych Out, and they'd be on that mission. And Sneak Peek knew what was up. On that card art from him, he knew. He was sweating. He was sweating because he knew he was dying in Kyle's childhood fig fed. And that whole team would get just slaughtered by Cobra. They'd all be killed. They'd all be murdered. It was a bad scene. But Roadblock wouldn't. Roadblock get bruised up a little bit, but he would escape, and he'd go alert Flint and the rest of the Joes. Say, we got Cobra. They took out some of our good men. And then the battle would commence over days with all my figures. It was just quite the time. It would be on the aircraft carrier. We'd be out at sea on the platform, and all points in between. The battle would rise. So enough jibber jabber out of me. Let's close this shop up. We're about 20 minutes on this Lifeline, and we gave him way too much time. But story time with Kyle gets in the way, Todd McFarlane, and that's what happened here today. But Lifeline available right now from Jay's Toys and Games. Say what you want about him, and I've said a lot, but still a must-have if you're asking me. Got to have him represent that second era of the G.I. Joe cartoon, the Serpentor years, as I always say. Lifeline, a big part of that, as we do know. But it'd be interested to hear your thoughts on Lifeline. Pick up, pass, long game, no game, hard pass game. Let me know in the comments down below. Don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Turn on the old notification bell, as we got videos every single day and then some. We got even more content for you on Patreon, YouTube channel memberships. The best place to support the channel. Sir Paul64 on the X, the _Kyle_Peterson on Threads, Instagram, TikTok, and the Kyle Peterson Show at gmail.com, which is the name of my podcast, The Kyle Peterson Show. Available each and every single Tuesday, wherever podcasts are found, with video cast on YouTube. So for Lifeline, I'm Kyle. See you guys all real soon.
Well, are we gonna dance or are we gonna play?